y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting a new series of videos just to basically talk about topics that I find to be very important, and also if you guys have any suggestions, if you maybe want some advice on things, or you just have some topics that you may feel that you would like me to talk about, just put them in the comment box and I can start doing these kind of videos and just talking back and giving my insight on things. So in today's video, I just wanted to discuss depression and anxiety. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety in 2015. It was very difficult for me when I first got the diagnosis. I mean, I kind of always knew that something wasn't right ever since like middle school. I kind of had a feeling that, I wasn't like everybody else, or like I felt things that maybe other people didn't understand, and I didn't even understand it, so I couldn't really put a word to it or even know how to look into it or whatever. I mean, I just didn't know. I just thought maybe it was like puberty, I don't know. But discovering more and going to therapy and talking more about it, I realized that at the root of it was depression and anxiety ever since middle school. And since I've been diagnosed, I've been trying to find ways just to cope with it, because depression and anxiety can really be something that you can get lost in, and it's very hard to maneuver through it. I don't want to make it seem like it's just, oh, it just is what it is. Like, I feel like that's kind of like the impression that it gets. Like, it's like, oh, everybody deals with depression, everybody gets sad, but people really don't understand that depression is a lot deeper than just being sad about something. And anxiety as well is very different than just being I don't know, anxious. I mean, I don't know how to explain how, like, it's there's levels to it. And so initially what I did is I went to therapy, and I recommend therapy 100%. Like, if you can go to therapy, go to therapy. Even if you don't feel like you have depression, anxiety, like, I just feel like everybody needs to have some kind of way to vent through their thoughts and feelings and emotions. I think therapy is good for anybody. Like, it's not just a case by case situation. I think everybody should at least do therapy for a little while. But me personally, when I started therapy, I saw big changes in the way that I handled my depression and anxiety. Like, it really helped me get through a lot of things and unpack a lot of things from my past, and really open up my mind, and like just to see things that I may not have thought affected me, how they affected me. And that was really helpful. But unfortunately, therapy is very, very expensive. And so that's why I say, like, if you can go. But I understand, like, it gets to be very costly. And since I'm a full-time student, I couldn't afford college and therapy. Like, therapy just got to be too expensive where I couldn't afford it. So I had to stop going. And so I had to kind of just figure out how to do it on my own. And so that's why I'm glad I had that experience in therapy, because my therapist kind of gave me things and tools to use to kind of, like, when when depression comes up, or when I'm in, my anxiety really flares up, how to like handle it, cope with it, settle down. And I think that's important for everyone to kind of figure out, like, how they operate. And I don't mean this to be like you specifically have to have depression and anxiety. I think this is useful for anybody. So now going forward, there's just things that I do personally that really, really help me out and really help me stay on the right path. So the first thing is having a routine. Having a set routine every day really helps me to feel motivated and to give me something to do. Like, I know, like, okay, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, so I have to get out of bed. Like, I can't just stay here, because with my depression, it really makes me feel like I can't get up, I can't do anything. Is kind of how I feel. But I know, like, if I make a set routine for myself every day, then that's like every day I have something that at least I know there's 3 things I need to check off a checklist before I can even do anything. And so for me, I kind of just built like around my school schedule. Like, okay, so I'll wake up, get ready, blah, blah, blah. I make myself a good breakfast, whether it be like oatmeal. I usually eat oatmeal all the time, but that's really oatmeal, granola bars, fruit, whatever, something like that. Something that I know is I'm putting something good into my body. I forgot. When I wake up, I start with morning stretches. That's the first thing I do. So like morning stretches really get your blood flowing, and it really gets just your body wakes up and everything. And stretching is just good for your body in general. So I start with my morning stretches, then I get dressed and ready, then I have my breakfast, and then if I have class, I'll go to class. And if I don't have class, I'll either, plan out more videos, or I'll try to get at least a video recorded, something like that. Like I'll have something that's definite that I have to get done. At one point in time, reading really helped me out, like just reading books, and reading really helped me just to like clear my mind and just, have something to focus on. So if y'all are looking for some good books to read, I got y'all. Okay, so at the moment, I'm reading Swing Time by Zadie Smith. It's a good book. I literally just started, so I haven't really got deep into it yet. But so far, I like it. It's a really good book. This is what I just started on. The book that I just finished is Americana. This book is good. So if you can read it, read it. It's pretty lengthy. It took me about maybe a month to get through this, a month and some change, but it's good. Toni Morrison, another great book. This is The Bluest Eye, but all of her books are great. So, and these are a lot smaller as well. Like I think I got through this book in maybe a couple weeks, if that. And then Milk and Honey. I know this is like a clout book. Like everybody talks about this book. Everybody has like I see it all the time on Twitter. But I mean, that's what made me get it, to be honest. But it's actually a very good book. I really like it. This you can read it a day because it's just poems. And some of them are really small. Some of them are a little lengthy. But some of them are just like, like that. So it won't take you too long to read it. I read it in a day. But it's something that I constantly pick up. Like, I'll go back and read it, type of thing. So, reading really, really began to be good for me. Like, getting into books. I just recently got back into reading. Because I used to read all the time when I was younger. But then I dropped it. But now I'm picking up reading again. And it's really been a good thing for me. Another thing that I do is podcasts. I'm really getting into podcasts. I love podcasts. So my favorite podcast right now is The Read with Crystal and Kid Fury. It's my favorite podcast right now. But I also like Small Doses with Amanda Seales and Bodega Boys with Desus and Mero. I like their podcast a lot. The Read is kind of a podcast that's specifically for like commentary on like things that are happening, kind of like if Shade Room had commentary, but better, like a lot better. It's kind of like just talking about things that happen in the world, like social things, but they're very funny, and they also have very good insight on things, get you to think about things in ways that you may not. Same thing with Small Doses. Small Doses is basically not really about social things, but more so about personal things. So, like, for example, like, the episode that just came out last week is Side Effects of Being an Only Child. So, she just talks about different things, like being an only child, working with friends, being an extrovert, like things like that. So it's not so much like on a social aspect, but on a personal aspect, which I like. And then Bodega Boys is just for laughs. Like, they're just hilarious. So there's that. But for news, I listen to One-on-One with Angela Rye. I really like her podcast. I really like her. So yeah, that's another thing that I've been really getting into, and that's really been helping me. Just like stay not really distracted, but just like gives me things to do besides like work, school, homework, because that can get to be so draining sometimes. Sometimes you need to just sit back and think about something else or do something else, like remove your mind away for something else. And I'm really just been coping with doing that. Now, another thing that I've been working on is self-care. That's something that I've really been lacking. And even before, like, just, it's still now to this day, I have a hard time with self-care. Like, even small things like going to get my nails done. Like, it took me forever to like say like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna go get my nails done, just simply because like I feel like I have all this stuff to do and I never take time for myself. Like, I never take time to take a bath, I never take time to go to the spa, I never take time to treat myself with buy myself something. And I feel like those things are very important as well. They may sound like material or, you know, not important, but I feel they are. I feel like it's good to treat yourself and to show yourself appreciation in a tangible way, rather than just saying like, oh yeah, I love myself. That's great, and that's very important in its own space. But I also think that, you know, a tangible way of showing that is also important for yourself. And so, yeah, those are just the things that I've been doing, and I'm still learning more every day. Again, like I said, I don't have, I haven't been going to therapy lately because I can't afford it. And I tried to do one of those, like, email or like text message therapist, but it's very hard, quite honestly, because it's like with my schedule and with me being so busy, it's like I'll text the therapist and then like you have to wait for them to get back to you. Like, once they actually find one for you, then you have to wait for them to get back to you, and then by the time they get back to you, you may be in class, or I may be busy, or I might be doing something else, and then I can't get back to them till the next day. And then it's like after a week you just found out my name and where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not very productive, you know, in that sense. Like, it seems like it'll just lag on forever. Maybe sometime over the summer when I'll have more time to, you know, reply and do those kind of things, maybe it'll help out more. But as of right now, with my schedule being so busy, I don't think it's very valuable for me to do that right at the moment. But yeah, that's all I have for today. And like I said before, if you guys have anything that you guys may want advice on, or any topics that you guys may want me to talk about, just let me know and put it down in the comment box. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really value all my subscribers, and I hope that we can all grow together. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.